Nobody expected Loh Kean Yew to become world champion. He was unseeded. Then he beat the world #1. He kept going. He beat another major contender. Then the world #3. And somehow, he reached the world championship final. One more match. One more giant standing in his way. And when it was over, Loh Kean Yew had become world champion. This was one of badminton's most unbelievable championship runs. Huelva, Spain. December 2021. The world's best badminton players had arrived for the World Championships. Among them was a young Singaporean who had never been considered one of the favorites. Loh Kean Yew. World #22. Unseeded. And for him, simply reaching the later rounds would already have been a major achievement. But the draw had other plans. His first opponent, Viktor Axelsen. World #1. Olympic champion. On paper, there was almost no reason to expect Loh to win. And the first game seemed to confirm it. Axelsen took it 21-14. Loh was one game away from elimination. But something changed. He stopped playing like a player trying to survive. He started playing like a player who believed he could win. The attacks became sharper. The rallies became more aggressive. And suddenly, Axelsen couldn't control the match anymore. Loh took the second game 21-9. Then came the decider. Point after point, the world #1 began to feel the pressure. And when Loh finally closed it, Viktor Axelsen was gone. The unseeded Singaporean had just eliminated the world #1. But now came the real question. Was this just one unbelievable upset? Loh didn't have time to celebrate. Because if Axelsen had been a miracle, the next two matches had to prove it. Luca Raber came next. 21-4. 21-8.
But here ends.
That's the option.
Then Kantafan Wangcharoen. 21-4. 21-7. Two opponents. Two straight game victories. And suddenly, the conversation was changing. Maybe Axelsen wasn't a fluke. Maybe Loh Kean Yew had actually found something. Then came the quarter-final. HS Prannoy. World #32. And a player Loh had never beaten in their previous two meetings. This was different. There was no world #1 shock factor anymore. Loh was now expected to prove that his run was real.
Guaranteed silver for one of them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Goodness.
And he delivered. 21-14. 21-12. Another straight game victory. Loh was into the semifinals. And Singapore had its first ever men's singles world championship medal. But the biggest test was still waiting. Standing between Loh and the world championship final was World No.3 Anders Antonsen. Third seed. Another title favorite. Another player who was supposed to be standing in Loh's way. And this time, Loh didn't need a miracle. He needed to prove he belonged. The first game became a battle. 20-20.
Yeah, well played.
21-21.
Amazing defense.
22-21. 23-21. Loh had taken the game. And suddenly, he was one game away from the World Championship final. Antonsen tried to fight back. But Loh was no longer the same player who had walked onto the court against Axelsen. He had confidence now. He had belief.
Unbelievable defense. Oh, don't believe. Oh, that's a fast disguise shot.
And he finished it. 21-14. World number 3 defeated. Loh Kean Yew was going to the World Championship final. One match. That's all that stood between Loh Kean Yew and the biggest title in badminton. But his opponent was no ordinary player. Kidambi Srikanth. World number 14. Former world number 1. A player who had also fought his way into the biggest match of his career. Loh had beaten the world number 1. He had beaten the world number 3. But none of that mattered anymore. Because in a world championship final, everything starts again. Loh started aggressively. Srikanth fought back. But Loh kept finding the gaps. Kept attacking. Kept pushing. And eventually, the first game belonged to him. 21-15. One game. One game away. But Srikanth wasn't finished. The second game became a completely different battle.
Brilliant. It's from the world title. One point from the world.
20-19. Loh had match point.
What a good net shot.
Another one there. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Good lift.
Srikanth saved it.
Brilliant.
20-20.
Winning margin.
But Loh kept coming.
Oh my goodness.
It was a nice shot to play. It was definitely.
He didn't need another miracle. He just needed one more point. 21-15. 22-20.
It's in.
Loh Kean Yew was world champion. So, was the victory over Viktor Axelsen just luck?
Champion.
No. Because Loh didn't beat just one giant. He beat the world number 1. Then the world number 32. Then the world number 3. And finally, the world number 14 in the World Championship final. 4 major obstacles. 1 extraordinary tournament. And an unseeded player from Singapore became the first badminton world champion from his country. Nobody expected Loh Kean Yew to become world champion. But once he started knocking down the giants, there was nothing impossible anymore.